Hi, Chag Sameach, and I want to show you our vault. As many of you may know, we do not keep our Torahs in the Ark at all times for safety reasons. Ever since we moved here from Haddon Heights, where we had constructed a vault as well, we built a vault that is both protective from fire and other issues and locks the Torahs up for safety. We make our safer Torahs safer by keeping them in the vault. Okay, so here we are in the Torah vault. Let me show you some of the things that we keep in here. Number one, we keep some of the crowns on the shelf over here, such as the big tall one that if we kept on the Torah, that I'll show you in a moment, would hit the doorpost up here, and we don't want that to happen. We keep our Havdalah set over in this corner that we use with our vodka. And we have old Megillot scrolls that are kept in here for safety. I think one of these is well over 150 years old. We also have old Atzei Chaim from some of the Torahs, and these were replaced at different points, but these can still be reused if we ever needed to, so we kept a few of those. And we have me as a pack rat, old books that we used to use and no longer use, such as supplemental readings that Rabbi Lewis, Sholom, had come up with. And these aren't the two of those, but we have readings and keep some of those just so there's permanent copy kept. And now I'll show you a little bit about some of our, and the most important thing we keep in the vault, and that is the Bim Bam candy, so that if anyone ever needs a supply of candy, we have it, and candy misses everybody. One of these days we'll be back together, and the candy will be back to the kids. So now let me show you a little bit about some of the different Sifrei Torah that we have. Some of them have been donated by certain families. Here is the Sheinthal scroll, which we used on Sukkot, first day. We have a Torah that is from the Spector family over here. We have back here, and I'll take it out so it's more visible, the Kress Torah, Marilyn Kress and Zoe Kress's family Torah. And we have some Torahs of the Maskey's family, and that will be more about later. We use these different Sifrei Torah during the course of the year, try to make sure each one is read at least once a year. Around Pesach, it's easy to do that with the special Maftir readings and the holiday itself. And the Torahs are set and indicated as to which one is to be used, so if the cantor needs to practice with anyone. So for example, this is the marker I used for Sukkot. It was on the Torah. And some of the Torahs are easier to work with than others in terms of the pattern of the script and how easy they are to read. The ones we use, for example, in Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur are very, very big print, very clear, and make it very easy for our teens to read. Some of the Sifrei Torah are much harder to read. They're smaller print. This is the Sephardic Torah that we have. This was given to us by Rabbi Lewis, Sholom, when he went to Israel for a sabbatical year in 1967, and he spent time there, and he got this particular scroll. It's inside, as well as the teak, the box, and I believe these are actually both from Yemen, and I think, as I remember the story, they were not a single unit when he got them, but he put them together. And the problem with a Sephardic Torah as opposed to the Ashkenazic Torahs that we normally use, it's much harder to do Hagbah, and it's hard to roll the Torah because the Torah is on a very narrow, the scroll is on a narrow spindle and not easy handles to work with. This Torah we read from every year for Breshit on Simhat Torah. And one of the reasons we do that, again, is so that we have read from it at least once during the year, and because it is too hard to handle, we don't want to use it during the year very often. Although, as Alex tells me all the time, that's not good for the Sifrei Torah. They should be rolled from place to place. It keeps the letters from getting worn and damaged by just rotting in one place. And the reason Rabbi Lewis wanted to have this Torah as part of our collection of Sifrei Torah is we had Sephardic families at the time, the Milul family, among others, who were very active in the shul, and he wanted to show representation and our community of families, and this way we had both Ashkenazic and Sephardic Torah available.